We push ourselves to limits, so we tend to get injured. And I was one of those unlucky dancers that got seriously injured. I've had a prolapsed disc, which did not recover after a year of rest, and I eventually had to have the surgery. I have seen many people before me fail to come back after surgeries. I have been told by doctors that you're not going to be able to dance at the level you were, that you're not going to be work as many hours as you were before, that you have to cut down on work. And to me, that was just, I might as well stop dancing.
Every dancer will have experienced some kind of injury. And a fair number of dancers will have experienced a major injury.
My problem was a stress fracture at the shin bone.
I tore my medial meniscus in my right knee.
I was at a point where I was investigating knee replacements, actually, and I thought I'd have to, basically retire.
I actually have a metal rod which has been inserted inside my shin bone.
Had 14 screws, 2 plates, 2 wires put in, and was very much faced with the reality of A, not dancing, but more importantly, not even walking normally again.
80% of dancers suffered a severe injury during their career. Half of them, 47 to even 60%, suffer a chronic injury, meaning this injury is lasting for a long period of time, eventually for their life.
Sports science is like the secret weapon that we didn't know we had.
In the assessment, we basically look at having baseline measures.
So tell me, are you ready? Yes.
And then at a point where, for example, there's an injury, we know exactly to which base we want to get back after the injury. So if the jump was 50 centimeters before, we want to get back to 50 after the injury process.
We can use equipment with slow motion cameras and lasers on either side that detected dancers jump and the action time on the floor and how high they jump. On the screen as well, you can see how the feet are moving, how the knees are moving.
And that way we have a very organized process of the rehab. And that helps the dancer to understand and also to not fear when they come back and not experimenting with maybe going on stage and then immediately suffering another injury.
He finds the weak link in the way you move. And that eventually, especially if it's caught early on, can prevent so much. I am sure a lot of my injuries that had came across my career would have most likely not happened.
It can help you greatly, not just when you're recovering from an injury, but just as an everyday kind of training.
If we can apply the advances that have been made in sports science to the ballet class and to the whole structure of the ballet system.
In, then out, in, okay, out, in.
We will end up with stronger, healthier dancers, less prone to injury. Even coming back from a rehab, one could argue that people come back better and stronger than they were before the injury.
When I became director of English National Ballet a year ago, one of the things that I really wanted to improve was the support from the medical and the rehabilitation area of things for dancers. Right now we're doing really high demand ballets like Corsair for the men. It's all acrobatics, it's all jumps. And we see that they are sustaining their physical abilities and they're not getting injured. So hopefully in a year or two we will be able to see a very clear, quantifiable evidence of this investment. What I like about Frank and Patrick especially is that what they teach me is scientific. They are facts and figures, and they share them with me in a way that I can also monitor myself. I come back from an injury, I know exactly at what level of my fitness I'm. I know exactly at what level of ability I am. I know how much I have to push. I know how much I have to improve. I'm also able to know when I'm fatigued because I have worked too much. and when I have to slow down. All that objective information, I think, is really valuable for a professional ballet dancer.
I believe that if a dancer has full control over his or her body, with at the same time reducing the risk to get injured, he or she will more rely on it and be able to express more open and in more different ways what he or she wants to express, which might lead to a different level of art.
I think that sports science would be a tremendous help to our profession. I think in every facet, it would be great. Smarter dancers are smarter dancers, period. Dancers that dance longer are more experienced dancers. Young dancers who start with it have much brighter futures.
I think that this is something that should be in every national ballet school. I think it will really benefit the dancers to have this knowledge earlier on, because for me it came almost at the end of my career, and I wish someone had given me these tools when I was 20 years old, or even better, when I was 11.
If young dancers can be assessed at an early age, then any potential issues that 10 years down the line might really develop into something career-threatening that can be addressed early on. Things can be done and incorporated into their work that will help them overcome those issues potentially and just be stronger, healthier dancers, and hopefully not have to live with the effects post-ballet of carrying an injury.
The enjoyment of dancers is going to be so much higher, and the competition for me will going to be so much bigger.